Here's just a sneak peek of things to come. Hey, this is Fat-tailed Gecko. Welcome to my first ever Minecraft video / series. I'm really excited to finally make a video about one of my favorite games ever. I kind of wanted to do like a video like this since I was in middle school. I'm in college now, and I had the time and the resources, more or less. So I thought, why not? So I'm in a super large, or whatever you call it, large biome world, and I really like the start that we got. I found this really cool island. There's like a river going all the way around it. It's in a birch forest. I know a lot of people don't like birch trees, but I don't mind. So I saw like a nice place to settle down. This is like right next to my spawn, and decided to just get busy. I don't know if you noticed, but there was an azalea tree there, which means that there's a lush cave below. It's actually my favorite type of cave. So I got really excited seeing it because I love using clay in builds, especially bricks, right? So I dug down, trying to look for it, got distracted by a cave, you know, trying to get some resources. This is just early on, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to this series. It's always like a grind whenever you're first starting off in a new world in Minecraft, but it's also a really fun time. This isn't going to be a series where I go super fast trying to beat the game, you know, get elytra and all that. I think I'm just going to take it slow, have a nice little, you know, base camp, and go from there. So this first episode, I'll put it up later, some goals, but really I just want to get, you know, the base set up. Nice house, enchantment table, find some diamonds, you know, especially get some animals going, like pens and all that. And so yeah, we'll go from there. So here I finally found the lush cave. Before it was just like a split off cave that didn't go, you know, to the lush part. But here we have finally the thing I was looking for. It's a little underwhelming. I thought there'd be a lot more, you know, glowberries and clay and stuff like that around. A lot of it's kind of empty, but I was still excited to finally get down to some deep slate, look for some diamonds, look for other resources. As you can see, it's, you know, still really early on. I'm still with stone tools, so I couldn't even get that diamond yet. I had to go back up and get my iron smelted and all that. So it's kind of a long journey, especially because I kind of just dug wherever there was dirt. I didn't really have like a specific like staircase down. I'll fix that later. That's one of my goals. But yeah, here I get an iron pick to go get those diamonds and keep looking for more. And here I decided that my main source of food for these first, you know, episode or so is going to be these salmon. There's so many here, and I just didn't really have another good option at this point, so I swam down and just chopped up a lot of fish with my axe, just to get, you know, some basic food going, because the first couple of days here I was just kind of, you know, hungry the whole time. But I got enough iron to make some armor and other tools, and I'm just kind of really starting to get settled here. I still haven't made like a farm or anything. It's funny because as I cut through these like clips, I realized how much of it, I probably had like 7 hours recorded, and I just cut it down to about 20 minutes. I just think it's silly how much of it is just like just background stuff that, you know, you're probably not gonna want to see. But I thought I'd just give you a taste of all the stuff I worked on. Here I have a sign that I'm putting up. It's like a goal board. Ideally, it's going to go like kind of in the middle of my base I eventually build, but for now, I thought this was a good enough spot. So first goal, get a homestead going. That's just, you know, storage / where I sleep, where, you know, I want it to look nice, but also nothing crazy. It's not going to be a mansion or anything. I just want to get my first house finished for this first episode. thought right here on the edge with this semi-flat piece of land, I'll flatten it out a little bit more, but I thought this was a good space to like put my first house. Eventually you'll see it kind of comes off to the water into a dock. That's another thing I wanted to get done here, was build a dock, because I think that is it's a nice thing. It's going to be really nice to have boats, easy to access so I can travel around, also to fish off of. I also want to make my mine, as you can see, nice. Right now it's kind of bad. I did quite a bit of it this episode, but the thing I really want to do next episode is actually get like a structure for the mine going. For now it's a little bit more accessible. There's a ladder all the way down. Other than that, I still have some stuff I need to get done. I also want to get a farm done. I haven't found any carrots or potatoes yet. I'll probably look for a village next episode too. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. But for now, I have wheat and I have pumpkin, so I'm going to go with those two things first, and of course sugarcane. For my next goal, I think it's really important to get some sheep and cows and other animals that I can find, just because place chickens, collect chickens, yeah, you get it. Just because those are I think those are pretty important, especially if I want to use like colored wool and things like that for builds. If I want to get that enchantment set up, I got to kill a lot of cows for their leather. So that's another big priority for this first episode. And the fishing dock ends up becoming part of the house. I thought it'd be more like a house and then a path down, but I ended up just kind of combining them. I thought it looked better, and it was a little more impressive than just the original house I had in mind. But I kind of dig all this out and have my house hanging over the water. I think it looks nice. It's kind of like where I'm from. A lot of people live by this lake. It's probably like a 5-minute walk. Where I grew up, at least. I don't live there anymore, but I grew up in this small town right next to a lake. And we'd always walk down and we'd see these really nice houses with like porches that look out on the water. And I had friends who lived in those houses, and it was honestly so nice to hang out there and watch the sunset, eat dinner, have some barbecues going on. It was a really fun time. So that's just kind of the area I'm clearing out for this house I have in mind. I do quite a bit of terraforming off camera because I know it's not the most exciting thing to see, but though this has like a good potential, this land around here, I think it's just easier for me to kind of clear out, make some almost like terraces where I'm cutting out the cliff just so I can have more space to put things. And I finally have a bed. I went over to the main island, found some sheep, found a rose bush. I like the red bed. I think it's just classic. So I finally have a bed. This whole time I've been just kind of going caving at night, or fighting monsters, or just hiding or waiting. Also, hoeing the ground in this game is one of my favorite sounds. It's just so satisfying. And here, first cage for animals. I'm thinking eventually I'm going to have like a little lean-to, like a awning. I'll make it look nicer, but for now, this is more form and function over aesthetic. So by this point, you see farmlands down, pretty much done with this goal. I pushed it in last second, and then I decided, yep, I'm done there. So cross it off. And here's kind of like the base of where I'm going to be, fixing the mine. I built out this staircase just so it's a lot easier to get down to. I think it looks a lot nicer. Here's some storage. And then here I finally start making the way down to the open cave a lot more accessible. This is just like a ladder. It's right now 1 by 2. Eventually I'll make it, I think it's 9 by 9 or 6 by, not 9 by 9, 3 by 3 or 3 by 2. I can't remember which one I do. But this is just a little montage of me looking through the cave, trying to find resources. I end up finding some diamonds, finding, redstone and lapis and all that stuff. Then here, of course, we find obsidian, and I'll cut that out because it literally takes so long to mine. I wanted to get 16 because 4 for the enchantment table and then 12 for the portal I have in mind. I usually like doing like a 3 by 3. I just think it looks a little nicer. Found one more diamond here. Luckily it opened up to one more. So many times this, like, it's not really a new update at this point, but so many times in this game I really like the going in the caves looking for diamonds, but usually it's only like one or two. You don't find big veins. For that you really have to go strip mining, which is fine. Also by the birch forest there was this dark oak forest, so that's where I got that. And here I can kind of see what the land looks like around. I just put all the clay balls and the blocks so I could save space, and here I wanted to get some bricks, so I decided I'll just break it down this way. Kind of a fun way to do it. And then I have some building materials on the, you can see like there's like a little pallet I was going for. Also the drowns were really annoying me, so I decided to use these jack-o'-lanterns to light up the water, to kind of decrease the amount of drowns that would spawn at night. Here's more just me working on, as you can see, I kind of went all over the place. I didn't do one project at a time. I just kind of rotated projects to keep it interesting for myself. But this is, one of the big things I wanted to get done is just have a nice, easy way down, a little aesthetic, pleasing. Yeah, here's a palette. I don't use all these blocks, but I was just kind of brainstorming which ones I want to use. I really like building. That's probably my favorite thing to do in this game, but I'm still working on it, I still have a lot to learn, so I'm looking forward to getting better, as I watch other YouTubers and their ideas, and as I keep experimenting with my own. It's just like a really fun part of the game for me. And here I have a little enchantment set up finally. I decided just to enchant a little bit. It only went up to level 18 here, but that's because I was digging out that stone part, this part, where I'm going to build my house, and I was just tired of using a non-efficiency axe, so that's what I decided to do. This is just a bit of my process as I, put the house together. I don't really have a plan going forward. I don't build it in survival first, just because I think it's more fun to kind of experiment as I go. I like the idea of the brick with the dark colors. I think it has a nice contrast with the white grout you can kind of see in between the bricks. So I ended up going, instead of with cobblestone, I did deep slate tiles as the foundation. And then the ground floor, level with the top where the mine is and the goal board is in the farm. That's like the ground floor, so that's going to be like one story, and then there's two more stories underneath. And I was pretty happy with just like the idea of this house, how it kind of goes down instead of up. I don't know. I just think it's nice. It also kind of takes all my willpower not to make all the walls, floor to ceiling, windows. I just like that a lot. When I was growing up, actually, in my own bedroom, I had this like big window that went floor to ceiling, which is kind of weird, but we lived out in the middle of nowhere, so the view was just trees. It was really nice, so I always do that in my houses, and I kind of try not to do it too much in this house. I also went a little different with the roof. Instead of just stairs, I decided to put some logs down and full blocks just to kind of break up the texture a bit, and I actually kind of like it a lot. Usually my roofs are not this, scattered, but this one I think is kind of a good direction I'm going to keep going with. Also some stripped, logs to even break up the texture more, but I think it looks pretty nice. Probably in the future, my houses won't be so square. I'll have more shape and variety going on, but for this basic one, I thought it was good. And of course, you have to do the classic, planter boxes out the window. I decided to use moss since I didn't have a silk touch shovel or pickaxe yet. and grass is nice, but I think moss works just as well here. And now I kind of like this window shape a lot in the front. It kind of reminds me of like a cabin out in the middle of nowhere. And I think it's gonna fit in really well with like the vibe that we're gonna have going on in this like starter area. As most Minecrafters probably want to go out and find the coolest places to build, and that's no different with myself. But I like the idea of starting off with somewhat simple first base that I'm gonna grow as I get all my resources, as I get elytra and shulkers and stuff. For now, I'm just gonna stick around here, kind of make this area feel more lived in and fleshed out. Since there's no village here, I'll either go look for villagers or I'll just wait and convert some zombie villagers. But I really want this place to be like a full fleshed out settlement in Minecraft terms, just because I think it's a nice place to start. And then I'll kind of keep doing this over and over. My goal for this series is just keep on making cool bases around the world that all kind of serve similar functions of everything that you would need in a Minecraft world. So villager trading and storage and things like that. But here you can see I have a porch on top and this little boat dock down the bottom. This is the inside. I have a tunnel I decided to dig all the way down to where my mine is. I really love this about Minecraft. You can just kind of build tunnels to go in between your structures and things like that. I just think it's super cool. Like, you can have all these little secrets. This one's not super secret, obviously, and it doesn't really matter. This isn't an SMP. This is single player. But I like the idea of connecting everything somehow, not just having one way to get in. But as you can see, this kind of goes right to my mine/storage section here. It goes past this nice little water feature, like a grotto or something. I thought that was cool. Eventually I put my nether portal here, so that way it's kind of in between the two places I'm at the most. And this is almost done with the house finally. I think in the future I'll have more episodes where it's slower, me going through like building the process of it all. But I think for this first episode I just wanted to show that we got some basic stuff done, a lot of resources gathered, so we can kind of do more eventually in the future. So there's the dock done and the house done, so I just cross them off the list. And then this last goal, like I said, didn't quite get to finishing the mine in this episode. I just wanted to get this done. Frankly, I'm running out of space on my computer, so I thought I better get all this video edited and recorded so I can delete the footage and then restart. I like to go to the main island and get some more like angles and views just to kind of get an idea of how it's looking from a distance. And as you can see, this is pretty much finished for now. I have a whole bunch of leaves I put up as like vines. Not that it's like abandoned, but just that the person who lives here likes nature and doesn't mind having some ivy growing on the walls. I have a little garden out front with the flowers. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I think it's a nice starter home. It'll be enough storage to do what it needs to do, help me out for now. It's also like right next to my mine, right next to the animals. I just think this whole little first episode area is just a nice homestead, a place to start off. And I have this little secret. I'm gonna redstone this up eventually, but I kind of got tired of walking down to my bed from the first floor to the second floor, so I just put a little trapdoor shortcut right to my bed. I just thought I just like doing stuff like that. That's the beauty of this game is so, it's a sandbox. You can really do whatever you want, however you want to do it. And here's the location for the nether portal right in between my house and the mine. So I think it's a good spot. I'll pretty that up eventually. Just want to show this off for now and kind of see how it all connects. And here I'm gonna move all my stuff that's not stone related and like mining related to this house here. But yeah, here's how the first episode went. This is what we ended up with. Nice farm, some pens for the animals. I'm looking forward to fleshing this whole out. I have a lot of ideas for this area, big towers, maybe even like, well, we'll get there.